So now we're just going to show you normal weigh operation mode in the axle weighing program. So we're going to simulate a truck pulling on the scale. So the weight's going to go up. You've got your drive on delay. And then it captures your first axle, and that's when the scale flashes red and then goes back to green. Okay, so that's our first axle. We're going to make sure the weight fluctuates by 500 kgs again so that it actually recognizes an axle. And so now you've got that 5-second axle delay, and that's the delay before it captures your axle. So now it's captured your second axle. Okay, we're going to go for a third axle. Okay, so now you've got your third axle weighed in, and say this truck has 3 axles and you don't want to weigh them out, you just wanted to see what his total weight is. It shows your total weight on the screen of 12,460 kilograms, and you figured out he's overloaded. So all you need to do is, if he's overloaded and you don't want to weigh him out but you've got his total weight on the screen, all you're going to do is you're going to hit the cancel key. Hit cancel, it says cancelled exit scale. So the truck is going to drive off the scale. And that's it. Okay, so now say he's dumped some product and now he's going to come back on the scale. Captures his first axle. Captures his second axle. It's captured his third axle. We're going to go for one more.
You didn't change more than 500.
Okay, so now we've captured his first axle and we want to weigh him out. We're going to hit the weigh soft key, and this is where you're going to enter in the material ID that you entered in the supervisor mode. Material ID has to be entered in the supervisor mode for it to recognize any material ID. So I entered a material ID of 3 in supervisor mode earlier, and so now if I enter 5 and hit enter, it's going to give me an invalid material ID. So you have to have material ID entered in your supervisor mode and into that database before it will let you enter in a material ID. So I'm going to enter that material ID of 3 that I had set, and that's sand, so I'm going to hit enter, and now it's going to prompt me for a truck ID. Now the truck ID is different to the material ID. You can enter in a truck ID that's not entered into the database. So let's say I'm going to put in a truck ID of 15, which isn't actually in the database yet, and it's going to give me an invalid truck. Now it's going to prompt me, truck not found, do you wish to enter a manual tear? I'm going to hit yes, and now I'm going to enter in my tear of, say, 12,000. I'm going to hit enter, and it's going to say ticket printed, exit scale.